Hello and welcome to Hot Topics with Coco Dryps tea. Hope you guys had a good day. Um, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but there were a few items that have been going on in this internet. What they call it, Beyonce's internet, that I wanted to share with you guys. So first up, we have Shay Johnson. She did a recent interview with Carlos King where she revealed, allegedly, that she was the person that actually brought Scrappy onto Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Who knew? Anyway, let's get into this video and then I'll tell you what I think afterwards. So, It's On Site reported this news. I want to give a shout out to It's On Site. It's On Site says, oh, heck nah. According to Shay Johnson, Scrappy took the opportunity she presented to him of joining Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and capitalized off of it by being able to bring in more drama with his baby mama Erica and Mama D. Okay, y'all, let's get into this video.
Manager, I don't know if you know who Amina is. She works for Gucci Man.
Yeah.
She was my manager at the time. She's the one that got me on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She knows Mona. Mona reached out to her like, hey, you know anybody in Atlanta might want to do the show? She's like, yeah, my girl Shay. So she's like, Shay, who do you want to go on the show with? They're looking for like couples. I was like, well, me and Scrap got a thing right now because I was in an abusive relationship. Scrappy helped me out of it. A lot of people don't know that. That man is in jail for the rest of his life right now. But not for beating me, for another situation I care not to talk about. But he used to beat me all the time. So Scrappy helped me out of it. I had to literally move out my house immediately. He helped me move. He just helped me out of it. And we
financially and emotionally,
everything. He helped me with everything. Emotionally, financially. He just knew. One day I called him and I said he did it again, but this time he seen me. He said, you got to get up out of there. So when I went back, he said, let's just go. We packed all the stuff up. I moved out, and around the same time, not too long after I got out the situation, that's when he and Diamond kind of fell out because of Soulja Boy. So we were friends for years, no sex, no nothing. He was just my best friend, like, because I could tell him anything and it didn't go anywhere. It stayed between us. I would travel with him. We went out the country together. There was no sex. We're always together all the time. Like, it's easy for me. You don't have to have sex with. He was a friend. He was just a friend. Like, and sex wasn't involved. I felt like that would destroy what we had. But when I went through that vulnerable moment of that man, hitting me, and Scrappy wasn't in the situation, I was in the situation. I think it was the timing, and we ended up having sex. So, because of that, we started seeing each other, and I was naive in a lot of things. And I ended up asking him, what do you think about doing Love and Hip Hop with me? He said, yeah, and the rest is history.
Was he already on Love and Hip Hop?
No. Scrappy did not get on Love and Hip Hop until I asked him to come on the show with me. I am the one that got Scrappy on Love and Hip Hop. Mona did not call Scrappy and say, hey, you want to do this show? My manager, Amina, told Mona, like, hey, Shay been messing around with Scrappy. They got a thing going on. She want to do the show with him. What I didn't know was he was bringing Erica, Mama D, and,
Shay Johnson.
You know how I found out that Erica was on the show? When I seen the release, they wouldn't allow me come to the party. You know how they have the release party in the beginning, the viewing party of the first episode, and I wasn't allowed to come. Found out why, a lot of things hit me when I watched the show. Like, oh, he brought his baby mama on, who you told me you weren't with, who you just got a friendship with, and you're just co-parenting with. So you brought her on, and then she ended up being the main character. And I'm like, hold on now. I came on this show and brought you, but he said, allegedly, the agreement was she would take him off child support if he put her in a position on the show to make money. But she didn't know about me either.
I never knew that.
Ask him. I had a manager.
Shay, girl. Shay gonna make me go back and watch the first season of love and hip hop again, because I don't even remember her being on the first season. And if she was, it was in a supporting actress role, and definitely was not one of the main roles. So when she came out with this in the Carlos King interview, I'm just like, wait a minute. Hold on, Shay. And then secondly, and we got Scrappy, okay. Scrappy, how you got all these women thinking that they responsible for getting you on the show? First it was Diamond, and now we got Shay. This is just wild. At this point, I need Carlos King to do a interview with Scrappy, Diamond, Shay, and Erica at the same dang time. I'm just saying. Next up, we have none other than the Tyra Banks. Shout out to the Shade Room for this tea. So, Tyra Banks reveals that she had her first alcoholic drink at 50 during her recent interview with People. Let's get into this video, y'all.
Was so magical. We took a boat, we took a seaplane, we had some meal in the middle of nowhere in some jungle, but it was like courses. I had an alcohol drink for the first time. I've tasted alcohol, but to have a drink for the first time at 50. When I was younger, 50 was old. That was considered like kind of like granny old. When I look at Halle Berry and Jennifer Lopez and Julia Roberts, I'm like, that's 50? We have flipped the script. It was so magical.
Wow. Is all I can say. One thing's for certain, she ain't lie. Black don't crack, cause Tyra, baby, you looking good. But you had your first drink at 50. That's like losing your virginity at 40. But I thought that was a little interesting. Wanted to share that little tidbit of information about Tyra Banks. Hadn't seen her in a while. It was good to see her. Next up, we've got none other than Kendrick Lamar. You have to be hiding under a rock these days if you haven't heard all the drama between him and Drake going back and forth with diss tracks. But ironically, in Kendrick's diss track, he mentioned a Toronto restaurant, and as a result, this Chinatown restaurant has been getting a lot of notoriety and people coming by. Let's get into this story. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for this tea. Fair use, fair use.
Over a decade-long feud, and now a new Kendrick Lamar diss record targeting Toronto's own Drake has one local Chinese restaurant caught in the middle, but in a good way. New Ho King on Spadina was mentioned in the song Euphoria, and now the owner says they have since been showered with 5-star reviews.
Talk about me and my family, Crody. Someone go bleed in your family, Crody. I be a New Ho King.
New Ho King.
There you go.
That's right. I'm trying to learn how to sing the song now.
Johnny Liu is the owner of New Ho King in Chinatown. He says since last night, his phone has been blowing up with messages.
This morning, a lot of people text me. He said, "Oh, look at that. That's your restaurant?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "Oh, look at that. Look at the song."
Don't speak on the family, Crody. You can get deep.
Oh, we can't play that music though.
Specifically mentioned the restaurant and their fried rice.
I be a New Ho King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy, Crody.
He said, "All right, get more rice. The chef gonna be busy."
Since the song was released Tuesday, Google reviews for the establishment have been soaring with positive feedback. with most mentioning the song and their now famous dish.
Whoa, 7 minutes ago.
So people
Okay.
are mentioning the song that Kendrick.
Yep, I see that Kendrick's a good guy. Oh my God.
Lou says he expects more customers will be stopping by since he's been receiving this international attention. Even today, customers we spoke to said they made their way to Chinatown to try the fried rice, thanks to the American rapper.
I came all the way from Markham just to see this fried rice, man. Kendrick Lamar, you gotta pay respect to K-Dot, man. Ever since he dropped the diss track, I was like, I gotta visit this place.
It's been an over a decade-long feud, and
Wow. Talk about some free advertisement. You got people coming all over the world just to taste your fried rice because of a diss track. I love it. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar for shouting out this restaurant. And not so good news. We have a spotlight on Tesla. This article says a woman was trapped in 115-degree heat after her Tesla locked her inside during a software update. Let's get into what they said. It says a TikToker says she was roasting like a freaking chicken after she got stuck in her Tesla on a hot day while the car completed its software update. When your car is updating, you're stuck in your car if you activate it while you're in here, Janelle said in her first video, which had received 18.3 million views at the same time of the publication. So I did that, and now I'm stuck in my car, literally dripping sweat, and inside my car, it's 103 degrees. Wait a minute. So this idiot knew that she was gonna be locked in her car when she activated the software update. Why would you do that? I thought that, this was a malfunction or something, but this was just somebody not using good sense. Like, really, why would you do that? Were you trying to cook? I hope it was a quick software update. But on another tip, she deserved a roast. That was crazy. Now, here's an interesting story. Billionaire Carl Arrivin allegedly faked his death in 2018 to spend the rest of his life with his side chick. He was recently spotted last week. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get into this article. It says, roomies, y'all gotta hear this. The mysterious case of billionaire Carl Arrivin Hobb, who was believed to have died in a skiing accident, has taken a surprising turn, with new reports suggesting that he may be alive and residing in Moscow with a Russian lover. Oh my God. Hobb, who disappeared during a solo ski expedition in the Alps in 2018, was declared dead by a German court in 2021 after an extensive search yielded no results. However, recent developments have now raised questions about his fate. Investigations by journalists from RTL have prompted the state prosecutor's office in Cologne to look into allegations that Hobbs' brother, Christian, may have provided false information regarding his brother's disappearance. Evidence, including photos allegedly showing Hobbs in Moscow in 2021, has surfaced. According to reports, there is a significant resemblance between the individual and the images in Hog, with a similarity of around 90%, picked up by special technology. Of course, this now has led to speculation that Hogg may have actually orchestrated his disappearance deliberately, possibly due to complex family business entanglements. Wow. That's like something you would see in a TV movie. But how in the world do you, first of all, escape to Russia with your Russian lover and then get spotted? What was that? 3 years later? That's crazy. All that to get out your marriage and some business entanglements. That's wild. This is a wild story right here. I'm gonna follow up on this and report on this later on, just to see where the rabbit hole of this story actually goes. People are wild. Next up, we have Saucy Santana. He's one of my favorites. He really makes me laugh. But anyway, so apparently he has some issues with Uber Eats. So let's get into it.
I'm dead ass serious. I'm not playing with y'all bitches no more. Y'all hoes that work for motherfucking Uber Eats. Bitch, I want to know, do y'all see the tip? Do it show you the tip before or afterwards? Because I'm a bitch that always motherfucking tip. I stay on the top floor of my motherfucking house. I ain't never order food without motherfucking tip because I know it'd be a lot. So when I got to come downstairs to get my motherfucking food, bitch, I'm real motherfucking mad hoe. So from now on, bitch, I'm not giving y'all bitches the motherfucking damn. Bitch, because you be damn if you do, damn if you motherfucking don't. And oh motherfucking well, bitch.
Listen, I am not mad at Saucy Santana. Like, when it comes to Uber Eats, like, I have on my instructions, do not leave my food on the ground in front of my door. Ring my doorbell, hand my food to me. And whenever my Uber driver that's delivering my food doesn't follow directions, I take my tip right back. So Saucy Santana, you can tip the good drivers, and the ones that don't follow directions, you can take your tip right on back. I know I do. So I have a quick update on NBA Youngboy. Shout out to the Jasmine brand, fair use, fair use. It says NBA Youngboy denied bond in drug ring case, hit with new charges, bringing the total to 66. Let me see if there's anything here. Let me read what it says. It says NBA Youngboy has been denied bail and hit with 3 additional charges, bringing his total to 66. Well, I don't think anybody was really expecting him to get out on bail after all of this. Anyway, it says Youngboy never broke against legal issues, continue to get worse. On Wednesday, May the 1st, local Utah news station KUTV reported new charges have been filed against NBA Youngboy, born Cantrell Valden, regarding his arrest last month in connection to a large-scale prescription drug ring. In addition to the 63 counts the rapper was initially charged with, he also faces another possession of a firearm by a restricted person felony charge and 2 counts of fraudulently obtaining a prescription. And then they said we might not be seeing Youngboy for a while. You think? Yeah, they gonna throw him under the jail at this point. But moving on. So this is an interesting story. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked for this tea. It says something is not right. A second Boeing whistleblower has tragically passed away under unexpected circumstances, raising even more eyebrows about the company and its safety failures on its passenger jets. According to Fox News, Joshua Dean, a quality inspector for Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems, died this week after battling a surprise infection that left him in critical condition for several days. Per the Seattle Times, Dean's unalivement was caused by methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and in parentheses they have it MRSA, MRSA, an antibiotic-resistant staph infection commonly known for its severity. Dean's aunt, Carol Parsons, told the outlet that he had been fired from his job in 2023 and subsequently filed a retaliation complaint with federal labor officials. At the time, he alleged that his termination was a direct result of speaking out. Additionally, Dean had also given a deposition in connection with a shareholder lawsuit where he reported dangerous faults in components of Boeing 737 MAX plane, which has been linked to major incidents in recent years. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. So what's the name of that plane? Boeing 737 MAX. Be careful when you flying on a Boeing 737 MAX. Because I got some mysterious things happening to some whistleblowers over there. And it looks like to me somebody's trying to cover something up. But you didn't hear that from me. And all of this information is allegedly. Child, I wish they would leave Britney Spears alone. But anyway, it looks like we have another update on Brit. Let's get into it. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked for this tea. Fair use, fair use. It says, as Britney continues to deny reports claiming that she got into a fight with her boyfriend, leading to paramedics being called, Britney Spears shows proof that she twisted her ankle last night, which is the real reason why 911 was called. As we previously shared earlier today, reports broke out claiming Britney Spears got into a huge fight with boyfriend Paul Solitz on Wednesday evening, May 1st, during their stay at Chateau Marmont. Reports initially stated that the alleged fight, which reportedly went down around 10:30 p.m., resulted in her almost being driven away in an ambulance. However, when the police arrived, they reportedly didn't see any signs of trouble, so they left the scene. But before this, witnesses alleged that the pop star appeared to act out of control, crying and possibly showing cuts and bruises on her body. TMZ reported that witnesses called the police after noticing the singer allegedly harassing and threatening hotel employees and guests. The outlet also reported that after the alleged big scene, the couple decided to go to another hotel where they allegedly continued to drink, and that's where things allegedly got physical, leading to Spears ending up with an injury to her leg. Witnesses allege that Spears was screaming out of control, causing people to assume that she was having a mental breakdown. However, as soon as the news broke, Britney Spears quickly took to her Instagram to call the reports false. She says she didn't get into any altercation, but did twist her ankle, causing paramedics to be called. She then shared another post to her page showing off her extremely swollen ankle, claiming she twisted her ankle after trying to leap in the living room. She said the paramedics came to her room and caused a huge scene, blowing things way out of proportion. In her caption, she further claimed that she believes her mother was behind the news getting out. Let's take a look. Oh, look at her ankle. Let's listen.
No, I really twisted my ankle last night like an idiot. This is to show proof. Don't look at my feet. I need a minute. It's so bad. Fucking idiot here tries to do a leap in the living room at the chateau, and I fell. Embarrassed myself. And that's it. Paramedics came to my door illegally, of course, caused this huge scene, which was so unnecessary, and all I needed was ice. But yeah, it is actually pretty bad, but shit happens. A little foot, you know, and then
Yo, her ankle is huge. That looks like it's more than a sprain. She might not need to get an x-ray. She probably should have went on to the hospital and let them check that out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do y'all think that Britney is in danger of a psychotic break, or is this a freak accident? I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Should we be concerned about Britney? So I don't know if you guys saw this, but this was a wild story too, involving another plane. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked for this tea. And the caption says, Rick Ross believes Drake forced his plane to make an emergency landing. I saw his nose. What? It says Rick Ross responds to report of his plane having to make an emergency landing and blames Drake for the incident. Let's get into it.
Thank you everybody for all the prayers, but I'm gonna tell you, we on the jet and I'm seeing the fighter jet. I see his nose. It's like Tom Cruise from Top Gun. I seen his nose. I'm seeing him in the cockpit. And I'm like, damn. I see his cheeks and nose going back from the G-force. I'm like, damn. And then, hey man, it happened. You know what I'm saying? I can't say what happened, but it happened.
That's crazy. He said, my jet just crashed. Drake, OVO, F-16 fighter jet just shot us down. Now that's a serious allegation. Let's read some of these comments. It says, that ninja life was flashing and all he could see is Drake steering a plane like he Tom Cruise. The next person said, I'm still trying to figure out how they went from being cool to not effing with each other. Somebody else said, he just went through something traumatic and one of his first thoughts is Aubrey. Like, really? Somebody else said, Officer Rick, please give it a rest. You almost lost your life. Somebody else says celebrities really be kind of corny and people be idolizing them. It's crazy when you think about it. Somebody else says, Siri, please play Obsessed with Me by Mariah Carey. Yeah, this is wild. That's a wild story. I don't know, Rick Ross. You better stop while you're ahead before you get a cease and desist for defamation of character. Because what? Anyway, moving on. In more wild and crazy news, we got a Florida man receiving oral sex who crashes head-on into a FedEx truck. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into this news report.
On collision in Fort Lauderdale. As for what caused the crash, well, police say the female passenger was performing sex acts on the driver, causing him to lose control and hit this FedEx truck. This happened on North Ocean Boulevard and 19th Street. We're told the pair had minor injuries. 2 people are recovering.
No, that's crazy. I hope it was worth it. And that must have been some good sloppy toppy. And that's all I got to say about that. And lastly tonight, I have some sad news. Shout out to the Jasmine brand for this news article. It says aspiring doctor declared brain dead after friends push him in a lake despite allegedly knowing he couldn't swim. So let's get into this article. It says an aspiring doctor has been left brain dead and fighting for his life after his so-called friends allegedly pushed him into a Louisiana lake despite knowing that he could not swim. Christopher Gilbert was shoved off the dock at Lake Darbonne in Farmville on April 14th. His peers reportedly looked on as he struggled in the water. One woman entered the water before abandoning the rescue mission. It took another 10 minutes before a patron at a nearby restaurant jumped in to bring Gilbert back to land, saving his life. However, he'd already suffered severe injuries by that point. Gilbert's mother, Yolanda George, told local news broadcaster KSLA that the 26-year-old was brain dead and the rest of his organs were starting to fail when they brought him to the hospital. Gilbert received his master's last year in biological science. He was preparing for medical school soon. After the incident, he spent 72 hours on a ventilator and an ECMO machine. The group lied to Gilbert's mother and said Gilbert had fallen into the lake before a white woman from the group admitted to pushing him into the lake. The friends claimed that they did not know he couldn't swim, but Gilbert's family dismissed the claim. Gilbert has only recovered slightly following the attack. He is responding cognitively, but is unable to speak and is still relying on life support, citing his mother, who also said that her son's lungs are said to be at 20% capacity. The family is now demanding that an arrest be made following the tragic incident. Prayers for Christopher Gilbert and his family. That is horrible. And why is his mother having to demand that arrest be made? Like, at this point, there should be a charge for attempted unalivement. And then if he does pass away, then, unalivement charge. This is crazy. Another privileged situation, because why isn't the woman that pushed him off, not behind bars. That's crazy. How do you knowingly push somebody in a lake when you know, or a body of water, when you know they can't swim unless you're trying to kill them? I'm sorry, unalive them. That's disgusting. Well, that's gonna wrap up Hot Topics for today. I just wanted to do a quick video and catch you guys up on some of the weird and wacky news that's out there on Beyonce's internet, and catch you up on some of the news stories that I had already covered. I'm going to be following this story about this guy, the one that got pushed into the body of water, to see where that case goes, because that's sad. It's sad. It's disgusting. And I hope that, he receives some sort of justice. Well, guys, it's been real. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.